Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Are you watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier series on Disney Plus and catching those life lessons? Let's talk about them. Welcome to Lessons from Shows, and thanks for tuning in. If you spend a lot of time watching movies and TV shows and love to reflect back on the lessons you can take away from them, then you're going to love this channel. So click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. On this episode, we're talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 1 through 5, but mostly episode 5, streaming on Disney Plus. Warning! There will be spoilers beyond this point, so if you plan on watching the show, save this video in your watch later queue and come back to discuss. With that said, let's do this! Coming in at number 5, truth is universal. Perception of truth varies.
Yeah. All right, good. Maybe this is something you or Steve will never understand. But can you accept that I did what I thought was right?
This scene is from episode 4, where we see the character Sam, played by Anthony Mackie, get honest and vulnerable about his decision to give up the shield. Then, in episode 5, titled Truth, we see all of these characters operating based on their lens and thinking they're right just because it is true to them. I think the concept of truth is really the underlying theme of the show so far, and it's such a powerful word. On a daily basis, we all make decisions or hold on to beliefs based on our perspective. In the heat of the moment, when you feel passionate about something, it can be hard to see past your personal biases, but it is crucial to do so because it just might help you make a decision that will not only benefit you, but also those around you. Coming in number 4, don't let your ego be your downfall. Plus, don't let expectations run your life.
Senator, I am Captain America.
Not anymore. And if you continue to demean and denigrate the priorities and dignity of this council, you will spend the rest of your life in the U.S. disciplinary barracks. Consider yourself extremely fortunate, Mr. Walker, and return the shield to us with expedience.
When John Walker was given the Captain America shield, it came with expectations. It is clear that Walker had insecurities and other issues he was dealing with from being an active Marine who saw some things and did some things that really shook him. So he felt like he had to prove himself worthy and boost up his confidence, but then every little slight just offended him. It was like a notch on his, or not a notch, it was a knock on his ego. His ego was bruised when Sam and Bucky didn't automatically welcome him. His ego was easily bruised by Sam and Bucky benching him because, he wanted to be the one to save the day, but he ended up ruining Sam's effort to take Carly down. His ego was bruised when he got his butt whooped, making him think he needed super serum in order to really represent that shield. All of this climaxing into him doing this and this.
Power just makes a person more of themselves, right?
Even though these are superheroes, this kind of reminds me of when we step into positions of power within an organization. I know that when I was first given a leadership title, my ego was through the roof. And anytime someone challenged me, I felt like I had to prove them wrong or show my power. I learned very quickly that no one wants to follow someone who is all ego. So I chose to become more of a collaborative and humble leader, but we can see by the end of episode 5, Walker decided to double down on his stance.
I am Captain America.
If you think these lessons are spot on or resonate in your life, then hit that like button. But if you have a different interpretation on the scenes I discussed so far, then please share your thoughts in the comments because you never know if your thoughts just might help someone. Number 3, whatever you give will come back to you.
Bennett and Elling's dad cannot get up before noon. Kids keep showing up hungry, but are too proud to ask for any help.
And you're just like Mom, feeding every kid in the neighborhood. Yeah, how many people still owe Mom and Dad something?
All of them? All that's left, for sure.
It might be time to call in a few of those favors. We're gonna fix this damn boat.
Hey, look, y'all. Word goes out to Wilson's family needs help.
It seems like Sam's parents were very giving, so when their children needed help, people were more than willing to give back. Sam did what he could on his own to try and restore that boat, but it took the help of a community to actually get things done. And while I don't believe you have to give to get, I do believe that when you do practice giving selflessly, you build up enough goodwill credit that if there is a time you need help to, people are willing to lend a hand. So sometimes when you're going through something, you think you got to do it all by yourself, but you'd be surprised how many people will help if you humbly ask. Number 2, the path to redemption is difficult, but not impossible.
I warned Sam, but he didn't listen to me. He's as stubborn as Steve Rogers before him. But you, they literally programmed you to kill. James, do what needs to be done.
So Bucky, played by Sebastian Stan, was programmed to kill. This man literally had no agency over his life, and he was completely under the control of anyone who said those magic numbers.
Желание.
Bucky was given a second chance, and he allowed the Wakandans to help him reprogram himself. But of course, this did not erase his past. Every day is a struggle for him, and he constantly beats himself up for his actions. So removing the programming, that was just step 1. Step 2 is even harder, and Sam gave him the best advice.
You gotta stop looking to other people to tell you who you are. You wanna climb out of that hell you're in. Do the work. Do it. You go to these people and say sorry because you think it'll make you feel better. But you gotta make them feel better. You gotta go to them and be of service. I'm sure there's at least one person in that book who needs closure about something, and you're the only person who can give it to them. Probably a dozen. That's cool. Start with 1.
If you did someone wrong, then you've got to do the inner work to understand why you did it, how to prevent it from happening again, and then how to best be of service to that person you wronged. Coming in at number 1, you cannot allow the past to hold you back from trying in the future.
They will never let a black man be Captain America. And even if they did, no self-respecting black man would ever want to be.
So you really gonna let Isaiah Bradley get in your head? You gonna let him decide what you do next?
Isaiah's been to hell and back. If I was in his shoes, I'd probably feel the exact same way. But what would be the point of all the pain and sacrifice if I wasn't willing to stand up and keep fighting?
The character Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumbly, is the story of black men and women who have been chewed up and spit out by the American war machine. And Isaiah was the only super soldier after Steve Rogers went into the ice, but yet he was never offered the shield, nor was he glorified and heralded the United States Captain of America. Instead, he was kept a secret and made a subject of experiments. So it makes sense that Isaiah wanted nothing to do with anything related to the US government. Sam could have allowed this revelation and his own experiences being a black man in the South prevent him from taking on this shield, but I'm glad he didn't. He didn't allow the past to hold him back from making his own way. Before I give this show a score based on life lessons and share some other tidbits that were good, open up your browser or open up a new tab and type in lessons from shows to join the show buff squad. Again, that's lessonsfromshows.com. All right, so I'm still fine-tuning the rating system, so I'm all ears for your ideas. Leave them in the comments below. But I've decided to switch to claps because you know when something is deep and insightful and you just have to clap or you do that. So I decided to go with claps and I've given this show 4.5 claps. I didn't think I was going to like this show, but I like that they really made it go deep and tackle some heavy topics. If you think there are lessons I missed or you have a different interpretation of the scenes I mentioned, then drop your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a like so that more people get clued up on the lessons and shows. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all next time.